that was a misstep by Bravo. I think that it would have done them a lot of favors if we had to watch Sandoval flounder a little bit to try to find these connections again within the group, because Schwartz is open to it. We all knew Schwartz would be open to it. There was no question that Schwartz would be back in the fold pretty quickly. I think there was an easy avenue for James to become his friend again if he had just apologized at the house instead of bringing up Dodie. So I think that that was a huge misstep. Do you think that Billy Lee is going to bring anything to this? Or are we going to constantly see this same scene for the rest of the season?
I don't know. I was just imagining what that scene looks like without Billy Lee, and it's just Tom by himself getting in a cold plunge. It's like, is he talking to himself? Like, how do we get anything out of this scene? Like, that is truly why they have her there, is just so we can get him talking. But the problem with that is everything that comes out of his mouth is bullshit. Every single word that comes out of his mouth is a complete lie. So he's lying about how he feels. He's lying about what he wants to do with Raquel. And yeah, again, I understand it for the TV show. But at the same time, if you're just going to put somebody there to get Tom talking and all he's going to do is lie and not talk about how he feels betrayed by his friends, or like, give me at least that. Just talk about the people on the show. Say that you feel betrayed by Scheana. Say that you feel betrayed by Lala, because at least I know you're being real. Don't talk about you being in love with Raquel. Talk about what else is going on the show. I don't give a shit about Raquel anymore.
We don't have time to discuss this here today, but it just jogged my memory when you were saying that, Shooter. I mean, what are we going to see next season when we have Teresa over here and we have Melissa over here?
Oh God, no, we don't have to.
We're about to embark on this, but right,
we can do that in a couple of months.
We could do that in a few months, but like that is this to me. Like it just, when you were saying that, it's just like that is this. Like when you say Tom by himself, it's just going to be that. But that's just where I go. But yeah, I mean, I still don't understand. Like, yeah, make someone just film with him. You don't have to like force the emotions. You're not saying Scheana make up with him. Just force another scene with somebody, right?
Yeah, that's all they have to do.
That's the best way to do it, rather than bring back somebody that nobody wants back. I think that's the general consensus all across any social media platform, is why the fuck is Billy Lee back on my screen? And the worst part is, like, and this is when I personally have an issue with reality shows, is when it's blaringly obvious that this is not real. And something like this, you're like, okay, well, we know why she's here, so I'm not going to take any of these scenes seriously. Couple that with the things that Sandoval's saying, I'm not going to take those seriously, because we heard him talk in the reunion that he's no longer in love with Raquel. So what has changed in the last 3 months? Because now you are saving yourself for her. You're saving yourself for her. How does that sentence leave your mouth? Are you fucking kidding me?
I just think he believes his own lie. Like, I think he's a little confused.
Yeah, he spent that time in New Zealand just convincing himself of his own lies. That's absolutely what happened.
That actually makes way more sense than anything else.
He had the little pocket watch that he flicked out that had Raquel's picture in there, and it was black and white, like an old-timey one, too.
Did I miss that? How did I miss that?
I just made that up. That didn't happen.
Oh. I was like, what?
Come on, guys.
He would, though.
Got to get back to my main squeeze. Yeah.
He would have that.
I know.
That would be a real thing.
But he believes his lies.
He does. And like when he's talking with Billy Lee, he's like, I wish I could get my old life back. And he speaks from a place of like, he's not the one that burned it all to the ground. But what drives me crazy, and it's going to wear, it already has worn thin, and it's going to get more and more annoying, is this victim mentality that he has, where it's like, he literally says, it's always the people closest to you that hurt you the most. Dude, look in the mirror. What are we doing? Like, seriously, like what's this approach? Like, do you
can't get any closer than yourself?
But do you guys think that this is any way, shape, or form like going to pan out well? Like, what happens? Seriously, I know we keep asking this fucking question, but like, where does this storyline go?
Nowhere. No, I mean, like, you're not going to
sustain silence. Nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have Schwartz. He has Schwartz, and that he'll always have Schwartz. And I really just think, like, look, I mean, they'll never, like, if this show ended tomorrow, I don't think who's going to speak to Tom other than Schwartz. And I mean, maybe other than Schwartz. I mean, Lisa, maybe, but not really. I think Schwartz.
With Schwartz, that's interesting, just to kind of pivot so we're not like solely Sandoval this whole episode. How do you think Schwartz is doing? Like, handling himself? Like, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, and, he's gotten a lot of backlash last year for everything that was going on, and what did he know, and should he have spoken out, this and that. I actually, other than being so quick to forgive, instead of kind of standing firm and having some tougher conversations with him initially, I appreciate what he's doing this season as far as how he is talking to Tom. At least he is not completely folding. He's saying, I think you should do this. You're not doing yourself any favors. And he's being a good friend. Like, I'm trying to put myself in a position where, like, one of my friends has done a similar thing and done this shit and blown his life up. I would be there. Like, we would have some tough conversations. I'd call him an idiot and he'd have to repent, but I wouldn't ditch my friend entirely. Like, that's what I think about Schwartz, but I'm curious where you guys stand.
I always say, I mean, very unpopular opinion. If I had a really good friend or a family member that did any of these things, I would stand by them.
Right.
I usually then go on to give horrible examples like Jen Shaw. Like if Jen Shaw were my true lifelong friend from high school or elementary school, I would stand by her. So that's when people are like, you've lost us. But I stand by that statement. See, listen, I told you it's going to be an unpopular opinion. Listen,
that's unpopular.
That's a pretty
sometimes, well, sometimes I'm
like
controversial. I'm on my best behavior here today with this Brav Bros crossover, but that is
let it out.
So I would always stand by if they were true friends, you know, not like a Heather Gay that's not really friends with Jen. But so I understand Schwartz standing by him. I think, you know, you could have a little bit more of a backbone at times and like speak up even more to Tom or any of the others, but I don't have a problem with that. No, that's just me.
I think fundamentally, I don't have any issues with it when it comes to just defending your friend and being there with your friend, which, you know, that's kind of what we're talking about right now. The problem is that we've watched this show for so long that we know what kind of friendship they have. Their friendship is Sandoval manipulating the shit out of Schwartz. And it came to a head last year where now he's taking the brunt of a lot of things that are going on with the Ariana thing, as well as the restaurant thing. So that's really where our frustration lies with Schwartz is we know you're going to get back with Tom at some point in time. You don't have to sugarcoat it. You don't have to act like you're doing one thing and then completely turn tail and go the other way. But at least stick up for yourself for a little while. Like that is one thing. Just show a little bit of a backbone and say, dude, you fucked me here. And then also with the restaurant, like you need to apologize to me directly and I need a sincere apology. And then I'll think about it and then we'll try to move forward and like work our way through it. He just abandons everything and shows up at his birthday party like the day later. He showed a little bit of backbone at that lunch, and Tom was scared that Schwartz wasn't going to be on his side. You had him at the right point, and you came right back the next day, and now all of a sudden Sandoval's back. Like that, it was so quick. Just do it a little bit longer. Make him suffer for a little while. Like he made you suffer while he just fucking went on tour with his band and then went to New Zealand. Like you can make him pay for those things. And instead you just completely cower in fear of Sandoval and go right back into his graces. Like that's the most frustrating thing. We can say that we agree with the friendship of it all. Yeah, you're going to stick by your boy after whatever just happened. I don't care. You know, friendship is above everything else. But you see what he did to you in the last year and you're not making him repent for that. Like that's insane.
I agree. And this actually takes us right into like the Lala and Schwartz talk that we saw at the party. And there's a few things I want to touch on here. I mean, we've already discussed a little bit of Schwartz being that middle person between Sandoval and everybody else in the group, as we knew he would be. I'm surprised again that